NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Wilson Seahawks going up against Roethlisberger Steelers. So let's get you up to the Steel City. Standing by in Pittsburgh, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Partner, I know that play didn't work very well, but an old New York Giants quarterback taught me a lesson a long time ago. Sometimes running the...
And the Steelers signal for another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. And now a first down following that long gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. For Rawls, they're going to need to figure something out going into the playoffs, because you look back to Week 15, 21 carries, 34 yards. That has to improve if they want to make a run.
I agree totally with that, because even though they have switched to Russell Wilson being the focal point of their offense, running the ball is still their bread and butter. And if they have Thomas Rawls at peak efficiency, then the Seahawks are really ready to go. But the Rams' defensive front, when they're at their best, 3 first-rounders up front, hard to move it against them.
That's very true, and that's who he was going against in Week 15. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL, because in college, he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
And he locates Luke Wilson. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On the ground, Rawls. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Thomas Rawls taking it in from a yard out. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
When the defensive line controls the offensive front the way we just saw there, it doesn't allow any of the offensive linemen to leak downfield and get to the linebackers and block them on the second level. You end up with the type of play we just saw. Linebackers didn't have to fight anyone off, didn't have to knock anyone to the side, didn't have to elude anyone trying to block them. They just saw the play, ran to the ball, and finished things off.
Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Big connection on that one. 30 yards.
And they pick up the first down on a fourth down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stop them on third down, but they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at Michigan State. Lost weight, became more of a whippet in the NFL. And now no one can tackle the guy, whether he's running it or catching it.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
And a look at Seattle's defense.
When you say the name Richard Sherman, you get a wide variety of reactions. All I know is that when I watch him play, very few false steps, and excellent understanding of what offenses are trying to do.
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. And now for the offense, this is play number 11 here on this drive. So here we go now, an extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. 4th down. Here's Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. And here come the Seahawks. They won the NFC West, wrapping it up in Week 15. They've won it 4 out of the last 5 years, Charles. And what New England has been able to do has dwarfed everything else. But that's a pretty good run out west, is it not?
It's a fantastic run because, remember, we were talking about the NFC West being the most competitive division in football for about a 3-year stretch there between them and San Francisco. Remember, the Rams played all of them tough. Arizona got involved in the whole deal. So it's a great run by them, and they don't believe that they're finished. Not by any stretch of the imagination. They're looking to get one of the home field advantages in the playoffs.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Throwing is Wilson. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Rawls. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen.
This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes, just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. On is Hauschka now for the Seahawk field goal. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit. They're in the same spot again.
Well, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. All right, as we sit here right now, let's look after Week 15 teams that are in. Seahawks clinching NFC West, NFC East Cowboys in, AFC West Raiders, and then, of course, the Patriots out of the AFC East. Who do you like?
I tell you what, it's still hard for me to go against the Patriots, even though we know that Gronk won't play throughout the playoffs. They know how to adjust better than any team in football. But Dallas, I know people want to find a way to knock them out of this deal. I think that youth will be served for Dallas. And what Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott are giving them, I think the rest of the team is feeding off of it.
One team I didn't mention maybe that could make some noise. Who? On Antonio Brown that we dug up before the game.
You mean that stat about how many catches over a 4-year period, that maybe Correct. He would be the #1 guy in the NFL if he passed Marvin Harrison, the recent Hall of Famer?
Yes.
That stat?
469, right?
Yeah, he got it done.
That's the reception number over a 4-year span.
He got it done even though he only had 3 catches in the game at Cincinnati. But let's face it, if he only gets 3 in one game, look out in the next one. He may explode.
That is caught. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read.
And it's hauled in by Rodgers for a Steeler touchdown. Eli Rodgers there to make the grab. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again. Well, that That's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And they're going to speed things up here. On 2nd down, Rawls. There goes Thomas Rawls. 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Thomas Rawls with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. It's good to make it 17-7. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Let's go! Turn it up, baby! Turn it up! Let's go!
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And he finds Hayward Bay. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
They go play action here on 1st down. It's complete to Brown, right side. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Now Ben on 3rd and long. Man open left side is Brown. Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll come out in the pistol. Now Bell. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The drive begins with a run by Rawls. No gain on the play there, second down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They stay on the ground. Rolls again. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with it. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Well, partner, recently we've had a lot of MVP discussions. Here's the thing I wanted to ask you. A guy like David Johnson having a great year, but his team's below 500. Should he be able to win the MVP award?
Personally, I think so. I think what always hurts a guy like David Johnson in that position is if you have other people having monster years as well. So for a lot of voters, the tiebreaker is who's having a better team season. And that's what ends up eliminating guys like David Johnson. Despite the year he's having, in any normal deal, David Johnson will be one of the top 2 guys for the MVP race.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Roethlisberger. And this is caught by Hayward Bay. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Now they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. And he's got Rodgers. It'll be a gain of 6. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now a carry for the veteran. This is D'Angelo Williams. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
On second down, it's Bell. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. Now it's Roethlisberger. Darius Hayward-Bay, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up a 4th down.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that will tie things at 17 all. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you. Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
8 yards to go here on second down. On second down, Wilson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. So a 3rd and 8. On 3rd down, Wilson buying time to his left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And now the rookie screen. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. So many times tight games decided by one big play. And a lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Clock showing 90 seconds to go in the 3rd. They start on the ground with Rawls. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. It's Ross Cockrell that time that made the tackle.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day,
there goes Thomas Rawls. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Thomas Rawls, 67 yards. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. So he's in for his third score of the game, and the defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Happy holidays, everyone. It's a great time of year, isn't it? And I know that we've had a blast doing these updates here for Madden, and we certainly hope that you've had a blast receiving them. Now, Week 16, we will not have updates for you, but we'll be back for Week 17.
We will indeed. I like how you just popped in there right after the incompletion. Happy holidays, very enthusiastic. No, certainly, everybody enjoy the time with friends and family, and looking forward to 2017.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit, but how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. Taking it right down Broadway. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. How about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
They had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that 2-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point? But after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. It's complete to Brown, right side. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Second down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. Give him 30 yards there. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
I don't know about you, but whenever I see that route, the drag, I always think about a guy having some pretty good fortitude to get.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going. Want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there? And that's run the football.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Now it's Wilson. And this one's incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. Third down here. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
From the gun on third down, Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Roethlisberger. And this is caught by Hayward Bay. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Man open right side, it's Rodgers. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
The offense certainly looking to score some points, but they also need ball security here late as we get down to the final moments of this one. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump off. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of 2, now third down. He's back to throw. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. And they're on third and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
2nd and goal. Defense digging in again here. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Back to throw. That's caught at the 3. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, they certainly didn't get what they wanted on that play. That means it's a big-time decision on what you call on 4th down.
Absolutely. And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Here we go. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Atama Rubin in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
A running play for Rawls. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
But it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
They go again with Rawls. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Heinz Field.